Hey guys, for a third time today, welcome back. I was streaming a little bit earlier and actually ran into an issue, so I'm not sure whether or not this is going to go as expected. But basically, I've recently switched the game over to DirectX 12, and it looks like that's having trouble with the streaming. So I apologize if this cuts off again. I'm going to try to continue development, and if it cuts off, then I might have to switch the game back down to DirectX 11. But let me go ahead and get everything set back up and share, make sure everybody comes and joins that wants to join. And let me show you guys what I managed to get done. Make sure that nothing is going down inside the files here. I got a new member on the Discord that's asking about a video. Let me grab that link for him really quick before we get started. And he asked another channel. He asked somewhere in here. I have no idea which channel he was on. Dang. Hopefully I can. Maybe he deleted his comment. I swear someone just asked, but I don't see it anywhere. Okay, well, onward and upward. If they ask again, I guess we'll know. Don't see it anywhere. So I'm going to assume he found his way to the link. Okay, so one of the things. So again, as always, I'll be checking the YouTube chat, and then also I'll be watching the Discord chat. So if you have any questions along the way, feel free to ask. So today has been an overhaul on the actual looting system, along with the actual consumables and trying to see what I could pull off with the different consumables and the different survival systems. So far, what's been added to the game just from today, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, and that last one doesn't count. So roughly 39 new objects added to the game just today. And basically those revolve around food, water, and drinks. So earlier I got in the concept of coffee, so you could actually have coffee that will help boost your stamina ratings. So if you want to drink a strong brew of coffee, you can actually find all the necessary parts and actually create that and drink it. And so I thought that was kind of a fun thing to add. Let me go ahead, and it looks like I've accidentally deleted mod here with testing. So everybody, not everybody, but there has been a large number of people reporting the gray boxes or issues since this 1.1 update. And so I'll go ahead and just take a second to say again, as I've got all over the Nexus, and I will continue to say, make sure you're backing up your save games anytime a new official version drops, because once that data, if you run your save game with modifications and it gets a chance to save, that's pretty much it. Unless you roll back your file, you're pretty much stuck with whatever it's done to your save game, and there's really no fix. And so that's a terrible thing to have to tell players, other than they have to roll back their games, but there really isn't a fix for it. It's baking into the save game itself, and at that point, buyer beware. That is the risk you run with installing mods. And so we just had another person just get on the Discord, and that happened to them as well. And it wasn't too bad. If they wanted to, they could easily just drop those items if they could, but most of the time they can't. Most of the time, because it glitches those craftable objects, they can't actually throw those objects down either. And so they're kind of stuck with that in their inventory for the foreseeable future, which is a shitty way to go. So I would recommend always do that backup. Always make sure you have that available just in case shit hits the fan and the mod didn't install correctly, or you've downloaded another mod that has never been updated. Going into the Nexus, most of those mods have not been updated since February, March. And so, because of that, there's a very high chance that eventually the developers will change something that the modders may never even update, just because they don't need to at this point. Or maybe they don't need to. It's more of that they just prefer not to at this point. So let me show you guys kind of the new stuff here. So it actually might be better to go back to one where I don't have such a full inventory. That's kind of my test save. And actually go back to one that has very few items so that we can kind of show what the concept is and what I've worked on today. Essentially, the idea is we won't mess up my other save, my new save. But essentially, the idea is that you have two different types of food. Eventually, I'm going to add in the hunger system and the thirst system. That will be an optional that you basically take a consumable inside the game. So you can load up any game, take a consumable that will start the cycle of hunger or thirst. And then after that point, if you want to disable it any time, you could take a consumable which will remove the effect. That's kind of the idea. But right now, I don't actually have that implemented. I just kind of have the objects. I'm slowly starting to actually create the game objects required for that to even be a part of the game. So let's. I'm going to go over to another area of the map that has a easy to access player stash, and maybe is on a part of the map that's a little bit more test friendly. I was recently working on the metro area, and so I've gone over here, but I'm gonna actually head back over towards this other area here. So I've really enjoyed since I've added the configs for changing how many humans spawn. That actually worked out really well. I did hear back today that people are reporting that that did not work on co-op. It sounds like that part of it just is not working on co-op, which I understand because it's a dynamic spawner. So, because of that, I don't know how you would take a dynamic spawner and actually sync that. Everything else is having to come out as very rigid, like it's already predetermined kind of thing. And once again, I get that for networking code. And so it sounds like in the future I may have to make a version of the mod that is very specific to co-op. So that way it may have limited features, but it may have to be that way so that there's less sync issues between players. Because right now I'm pretty much turning up all of the world's ability to have random encounters and a lot of new stuff inside the game that I could see. I'm actually incredibly shocked that the code holds up as well as it does as far as having network syncing for all these changes. I mean, I'm basically having to do not basically. I'm doing no network code to improve the game, and so that is that speaks for itself as far as the engine goes. That I don't actually have to do any network lines. It all syncs up, and players are able to just enjoy it. It's pretty damn good. So I'm heading over here. I'm going to try to set up the save game here with a loot crate, so that way I can continue to test. And I will bring over eventually my little base building mobile crate, so that way I don't have to keep running back to these access points. But essentially, what I want to do is go in here and drop some of these things back over in here because I'm now spawning quite a few different foods. And so because of that, ooh, which one is this? I bet that is my but that's my companion's code. So we've got our bandages. Let's go ahead and hit this. If we hit this, you'll see that we now have a crafting for we have a crafting for coffee. Hang on, I've got a comment over here, Mikey. When I play with my friends, we have to use casual survivor to spawn rates to reduce the connection problems. I did notice the other day that on the code that I'm accessing for the actual humans at this point, I did notice that that's actually been zeroed out on the official version of the game. So they actually got rid of that completely. And so I do wonder, Mikey, thanks for reporting. I do wonder if that's due to the fact that maybe something broke to where you can no longer actually do that. So that's great to know. If that is the case, then what I'll do is I'll try to work up a quick test and create a scene where, or not a scene, but a version where it uses none of the dynamic systems. But that means that they're changing a lot on the back end as well, and so stay tuned for what those changes mean for the mod. But okay, so here's kind of the concept. We have different foods that we can take. Each one, so for example, we have, and actually I can actually eat each one first. So each one's we have like a large goat feast, a small chunk of smoked pork, smoked beef, smoked sausage, and we can actually just eat those at any time. It will heal us, is the concept, is that if I'm actually damaged, it will actually heal us. And if I drop each one of these, so let's go ahead and drop, you can see here we've got a piece of smoked sausage. And then we've got this goat feast one is actually pretty funny. Just drop this massive haunch of goat. And it felt kind of funny there. Let me see if I can get it to fall. There we go. Look at that thing. So that's meant to, is marked as violet, because if you eat that, you won't have to eat for a while, because my God. So we'll go ahead and pick one of these back up. And then if we drop, so this is a chunk of pork. You'll now be able to find those in the world. And then let's do this one as well. And also, I'm assuming that you guys, so it is doing the latency thing again. So someone please let me know if this is actually coming through on that side. Hopefully the latency is not like a major issue. So there we have the smoked beef. So I think it really is the DirectX 12 is causing an issue on that side. At least for me, I can't actually visualize the stream, and that's actually fine, as long as I can actually read your guys' shared text. So if anybody, when you get a chance, can you please share on there whether or not you can see my screen right now, or whether that's frozen. Here we have my favorite rat on a stick. So you can have a nice piece of rat on a stick. If you're searching around the world, you can find, of course, when hungry rat on a stick. By far my favorite thing in the mod so far. Let's see, we're going to go ahead and drop this next one. This next one is military ration box. So here we have a small box of military rations. This will heal you for another good amount. And also some of these will actually influence your stamina. So if we go in here, and it's probably the military rations box. If we go ahead and take that, you can see up there in the top, it's got the little icon indicator, and that will actually improve your stamina for a period of time. So your stamina regen and overall stamina should be higher after consuming that. And that does look like it's working pretty well. So going out into the world and finding those military rations before you fight a boss might be preferable. So here's another crate. So here's a bigger crate of military rations. Go ahead and drop one of those. You can see that we have an even bigger box. So preferably, if you're exploring the world, you would want to find this sucker. He does much more for your stamina. And then last, we have coffee. So this is kind of a fun one. Look at this little coffee thermos. I actually love it. I was super happy I could find this little thermos. Basically, the idea is that if you want this coffee, you can also get a stamina boost. So if we take this coffee, we'll go ahead and take one, you can see that our stamina is boosted again. And what I might try to do is I'm trying to figure out, I mean, it depends on how much you're hunting around, but basically you should be able to stack these how you want. But the idea is that you can continue to boost your stamina, and each one does a certain amount of boosting to your stamina. So for going into those fights and that kind of thing, that could be a great perk. So I'm no longer seeing this update. Let me just kind of make sure that YouTube is even still working. So it really does. It just requires me to click on the browser again for it to even work. So hopefully that won't crash. Hopefully you guys are able to see okay. And then last but not least, I think we have ended up with, oh, I guess I didn't update the name. So we have strong coffee, and then we also have regular coffee. So it looks like I need to update that name. So you can see there, one does 6, one does 2%. And then we have, lastly, we have a sack of food. So you drop. And this is literally a whole sack of food. So if you're out in the world and you find the sack of food, you can eat that and it will help hold off that hunger for a good while. So let's go ahead and drop some of these items down onto our zombies here. And I would actually, I would be really excited. I want to look and see if dropping these, I could actually use these as a distraction as well. So if you like drop this food or something like that down into a bunch of zombies, it could actually cause a distraction to where they all go to that location. I think technically for most of that to work, you have to throw it because the act of throwing it is actually what activates the other part of it. So let's go ahead and toss these off as well. We're not done, so there's more back at the base, so I'm going to go grab the next set. This. And we'll go ahead and grab the rest of it here. We also have a small pack. Okay, so in addition of the things that you've already seen, we also have dried apple slices. So if we click those, it drop. Get a very, very small little thing. So this reminds me more of Dying Light 1, where you had the little pouches of food that you could find in the fridge and that kind of thing. Those should start to show up in your world. We have a jar of preservatives. You'll also find these inside of your fridges and in pantries and that kind of good thing. It will only heal you, so most of these are going to be for health. So as you take them, you can actually heal up using that food. We have a sack of potatoes, same thing, massive sack of potatoes that if you take this, you're good for a good while kind of concept on your hunger levels, that is. And then actually, I'm curious, I don't think I've actually seen what this looks like. So this will be my first time seeing it as well, but let's go ahead and do the jar of olives I've seen. Got this little jar of olives here. And lastly, this is the one I have not seen, is this small snack. I set it to where it's using this rice. Let me see what this looks like. It's flour. Well, I'll try to see if there's something more interesting there. But so as you can see, so altogether it was 39 new things for food and water, along with coffee and alcohol. So for those of you joining me just now, oh, I can't actually do the alcohol unless it's in my loot. No, the alcohol is not added on here. So I'll try to do an update video and go through and show you guys all the new consumables from today. It was actually quite a lot, but super excited to have this concept of survivor elements come to the game. And I'm not done yet. So I'm going to switch back over to modding again. And so I look forward to hearing your guys' feedback, and I'm going to continue down this road for the next hour or so, and then I got to call it. I've been doing this way too much today, and so I'm going to actually probably call it here pretty soon. But essentially, if we go back over to the files, we have the concept of food, which is already backed up. Let me make sure that everything's been pushed out. It has. Next, we're going to move on to things like fruits and veggies and that kind of thing. I'm sure I can find some more meshes in there for different ones. So I got coffee going. I was really happy to get coffee going. Let me see if I can find. So I know one of them was a melon. that I saw in here earlier. So let's go ahead and do food, miscellaneous, 01, food, miss 1. And some of the like verbiage and that kind of thing still needs to be added here. So I haven't gone through and actually written up a lot of the verbiage that will need to go into these to kind of describe more of what they do and that kind of thing. So that will come with time. And along with that, with names and stuff like that, it's going to take a little while to get the names and the descriptions how I want them, but we'll slowly but surely. Hey, Slingshot, how's it going? You got back into the spirit of the mood after all these years ago when my friend messaged you about the bug in the first game's mod. No, I appreciate it. The first game has been a. I'm still planning my overhaul, and I've learned so much with what I've done to get access to more of the code with Dying Light 2. It's inspired me for Dying Light 1. I'll be returning to Dying Light 1 and doing an overhaul to that mod, and I'm super excited to see what that leads to. But I appreciate the support. I was getting pretty burnt out on the second game or the first game there for a while, and I did also go through a phase where I was getting a little burnout on the second game as well. It's a lot of hours, it's a lot of time, and so I really have to be like in the mood to continue down this road, you know. Say veg, no veggie, no veggie, cabbage. There we go. There's a cabbage. Cattail? Mm. Okay. So let's see. 2. And I might have to just kind of shoot in the dark for these last couple of ones because I'm not really sure like what they would fall under. I guess technically you could do something like mushroom. Technically mushrooms are food. Go in here. And I was thinking about it. So as a modder of Fallout 4 and 3 and Skyrim, I was actually super excited to think about today about the idea of if you wanted to, you could actually make recipes for food that each one has different, you know, attributes and things that you could pull off if you eat them, kind of thing. And so I'm really curious actually to see what that would result in. So we say miscellaneous food 4. So that could be kind of a fun way to bring a survivor element to this and say like, okay, you got to go find, um, you have to go find the different ingredients to make a kibosh of food before you go on to fight a boss, or you know, could be interesting. It's all slowly but surely just kind of moving towards new ideas of different things you can pull off with the game itself. I don't know if any of them would be considered good ideas necessarily, but it's something new for the game for sure. Okay, so help me think here, guys. So I put this shout out before. It looks like I've got quite a few people on the channel. So go ahead and don't be shy about this. Seriously, anything you can think of that you would like to have in the game, I'm not kidding. Go ahead and share, you know, ideas of what you think would be fun to have in there as far as loot goes. I'm literally working on it right now. I'm more than happy to just go ahead and add it. So if you think of some specific, and this is specific to loot, so I've got ideas of like, you know, they have the coin ideas, so you can throw little coins and cause distractions. Maybe you can throw scrap metal, and the metal actually does like damage, and it actually causes more noise. You could throw things like, you know, things that actually make noise. You could do all sorts of different things here with what, you know, with this system. I mean, you can do anything. So seriously, if you guys have ideas or thoughts when you're on the when you're on here, please just shout them out. Someone yelled beer earlier, and I literally, we've got beer and wine and beer, wine, vodka, and whiskey in the game now that will actually make you drunk, and it will actually allow you to be able to take more hits and do more damage. So yeah, you can get drunk in the game. And apparently, it also applies to cutscenes and other parts of the game. So if you actually are really annoyed with parts of the game and you want to experience what they would be like drunk, have fun. So let's get back to this really quick. Please, again, you know, Anything. I'm good. What you got? Food and mushrooms. Um, apples. Crop apple. That worked. Five. Aquarium. I think I just found some house decor for base building. I'm gonna add that to the side here. Add that to my notes. Okay, so we had apple. It's the only one. What else? Orange. Oop, nope, that was definitely the wrong way to do that. Apple. Here, say 6. Is that right? 5. 5. All right, I'm keeping an eye out. If anybody has any ideas, there's no stupid ideas on here. Orange. No oranges. Banana. I said fruit. Yeah. So what about this? Like, so they have a fruit shelf. No, I'm not sure I want to dive into the prefabs just yet. So we have that. We have watermelon. No. We already did melon, so that's probably what a melon is there. Candy? Crispus candy cane. See, I'm gonna like figure out a way to bring that into like the quest or something. You go find all the candy canes for all the kids or something for Christmas. Say 7. Candy? Yeah. Let's see. Apples, watermelon, orange, grape. Seeds? Sandwich? Uh, bread. Bread box? Bread shuffle. Bread wheel. Oh, yeah, there's some bread. Let's see if this works. 8. 8. Let's see. Bread. You already did soda, right? Billboards. Drugs in here? So they have hospital drugs. They got a shit ton of drugs. Oh, okay. Well, time to start taking your anxiety meds. They got hospital bandages. Oh, okay. Self. So, do is actually go up and say a valuable, because we always liked these pointless valuables they had in here before. Maybe what I can do is valuables. People like drugs. That is something that you would need to go search for. There we are. All right. So here we say we'll do like this because I have no idea what these are. So we'll say prescription drugs 01. And then we'll say, take that. Don't take out the RX note. And we'll say mesh. And let's just start grabbing some of these. So we'll say hospital drugs. And we'll throw these. And then I know we got a med kit icon, but then also we've got my aspirin. So where's aspirin? That is valuable to aspirin. So then we go back to the drugs. Huh? So the lockpicks are the drugs? That's interesting. All of these have a drugs mesh? Interesting. All right, well, we know one that probably is like a bundle of clothes or some nonsense like that. So let's go in here and just add a hefty price tag to it. And let's go ahead and call these blue. And we'll go ahead and say max stack cannot be that high because, well, we'll add this back. You can get as many as you want. And then let's go here, 2. And we'll come back to that when I continue down the pathway for the like world items and quest items and stuff like that. But that's kind of the exciting part is that, you know, we can make quests if we wanted to. I think it can definitely be done. I'm not sure how complex of a quest we could do, but I'm sure we could do it. So I'll go ahead and I'll just go ahead and add it. I'll add these so I can try to see what these look like. Well, actually, hang on. This bundle is massive now, so let's go in here and say bundle 1 because it's going to take forever to actually do all that. So let's do food bundle 2, and then we'll go here and set this up here. That. And then we'll go back down to the food here and say food miscellaneous. And let's take a peek at what these look like. So I think it's down through what? What do we get to? 8. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And so we found those. Maybe let's just launch in really quick and see what these look like. Just to see what we're working with. Give me 1 second, guys. I'm going to step away for half a second. So I launched the game up and it's going super slowly. Not sure what's going on here. Probably going too slow to be able to actually test this though. So hopefully you guys can hear me okay. Graphics look phenomenal on that render there, but shit's crawling. 4, 6, 8, 5, 2. Oh, and I forgot to update the coffee. Okay. Let's see what's going on here. It's definitely like a rendering issue. Looks fantastic, but what's going on there? Wow. Stuff out. Okay. So let's go ahead and say drop. There's our first little melon. Fun. Okay. And as we go down the list, we're just going to kind of check these off. So first, let's go to coffee. And then we say strong coffee. Let's say strong brewed coffee. All right, from this, starting here, so we say food, melon, 01, just in case we find another, and say melon. Glamorous work, huh? Candy cane for sure. Check that out. That's awesome. Got a candy cane. Add the candy cane to the game for sure. What is that? 7? Yep. And what's that? Yeah. Candy cane 01. Candy cane. Three. Okay. You're in a drop. Wow. Okay. Like a bundle of mushrooms. Technically, you could eat that. I think. 3. We will call this wild mushrooms. 01. And so you could actually pull these off trees. So I kind of like that. So those are the ones that are being used for the other one. So I don't think we're going to use those. So I think I could probably wipe out, what is that, 4? Yeah. So 4 will probably go. here. We got 8. What is it? It's like oh, it's bread. All right, that works. It's fun. It's 8. It's bread. Bread. Loaf. Loaf. Bread. Oh, pumpkins. I know they have pumpkins, but they have like a whole bundle of them. Let me see if I can actually get a pumpkin. Couple of pumpkins. All right, there we go. Be eating some pumpkins. All right. So 6 is going to be food, fruit, apple, 0, 1. Apple. Or we'll just say apple. Mm-hmm. This 5 is also the same. Yeah, somehow they got duplicated, but I wonder what was supposed to go here. What I'll do is I'll just go ahead and grab this pumpkin, that. Even say on this one, pumpkin, pumpkin 1. And then on this one, this, well, we'll wait to see here, but I think we probably reset those values one more. It's like a little cabbage. That's funny. All right. So that's food 2. So we say food, cabbage, 0, 1. Cabbage. Well, it doesn't look like anybody submitted any ideas just yet. If you guys think of any ideas while this is continuing, please feel free to drop it on here. I'm happy to try to get in whatever loot ideas you guys have. There are so many different things we could actually add to the world, and I'd be happy to try to figure out how we can get some of your ideas in. Let's go ahead and get this second pumpkin. 2. 2. Yeah, exactly. So effort. There will be some type of visual representation of health and or thirst and hunger. There will have to be. So it's going to take a little bit more work to actually set that up. But they have corn. Pumpkin head. I want to see what a pumpkin. Oh, pumpkin head is the actual like. Yeah. Okay. What if they have corn? Hanging corn? It's like dried corn. Doubt that is actually edible. And if it's hanging, that might have an offset, but we'll give it a shot. 4. peppers. So we got onion, and I guess that's a good thing. And while we're here, let's do 5 and get these other ones on here. Onion, peppers. This is actually going to have peppers. The beer actually worked out really good, Effort Fighter. So we have 3 different types of beer, we have 3 different types of wine, 3 different types of whiskey, and 3 different types of vodka. Let's try some of these. If we go in here and say, let's go back to corn really quick. So let's see, I'm going for corn. How about onion? Onion, hanging onion. Pepper. Peppers. Fishing net. Ooh, what about fish? Fish net, fish pack. Fish pack? Stall fish pack. All right, fish pack, whatever that is. I'm guessing that's like ice with a fish. But later tonight, I'll release the new update, and that will actually have the beer and all of that added, along with some of these other foods as well. Fishes. I know I saw these before. I don't actually believe this works, but let's try this here. Say fish. Fish. Food. Bet those are meant to be like underwater, but it doesn't hurt to like see what they are now, kind of thing. I'm actually pretty curious what those are. Okay, so we have our 8 again, and let's check out our meds before the light goes out. So if we go up here to backpack and say drop, these are the prescriptions. Look at that. These are the prescription pad, or the prescription bottle. That's fun. And then say again, drop. Drop. Is that the same? I think one's supposed to be like stubbier than the other. Like opened. Yeah, it's like without a lid. And then yeah, it's like it's the same 2 ones, it's just ones without a lid. So basically 1 and 2 work. All right, there's our answer. All right, so description here, delete those. Exactly. You're getting the idea, Effort. So that's the idea. Once I write in the actual thirst values, I'll have to factor for that. But exactly that. Getting into the spirit of it. I'm gonna leave these other foods off for now. Well, no, let's make sure they got updated properly. And so we're gonna go back through here and do like, and actually I think I can, no, let's leave those. So let's do cabbage, mushrooms, fruit, candy cane. This 1, 2, 3, 4. And let's go through and I'm going to update these really quick. So like bread, let's go in here and say bread. It's looking like green. And does food normal, which means it does, it's not going to be stamina. It's going to be all of these messed up. Stamina, going to apply. So it's going to do 5. This is going to be food small. Make sure there's no, is it food? Yep, no gap. So it's going to be food small. It's going to be white. This is going to probably be something more like blue. It's a specialty item. Apple is going to cost like 60. Wild mushrooms, it's like 100. And mushrooms, let me see if there's well, let's see if we go to here and say find icon, let that finish. We'll see if it has, so if we say like mushroom, oh, yeah, whatever that is. Say mushrooms. Any others? Let's see what that does. And then these are probably going to be white, and they're going to do the mushrooms is probably going to be like food small, but then I also kind of want to, with that one, I kind of want to add like some trippy effects or something. So we'll see. So cabbage is also going to be food small, or maybe we'll do like normal, which is 10. 1. Yep. Melon will be food normal. So that makes 10. And we're going to go in here and say that a melon is worth like 80. Cabbage is worth like 70. Yeah. Healing. Well, this is going to be worth more. So this is like a hidden item kind of thing. So you could always sell it if you wanted to sell it. And there we go. That's messed up. So let's go in here and say fix. Be food small. And then this is going to be 10, which makes that food normal. Loaf of bread, candy cane is blue, check. And then each one of these is miscellaneous, but we'll go ahead and say stamina. Okay. So that should, when we load back up, that should help me see whether or not those other ones have been processed yet or whether they're still pretty rough. I think they'll probably need individual statements. I'm not sure if I wrote anything under each one. So we say like candy cane, a delicious treat. Oven, delicious. Exactly, man. There's I mean, and you're gonna be limited on some of the different foods. And obviously, I think you're probably going to want to make this completely optional, something that people can activate and deactivate. Um, but I think if done right, it could add a whole nother degree to the game. Whether or not, how much people use it or not, I'm not sure. Fresh off the tree, shiny tree. And with that, I wonder if we have like a fruit, an actual fruit icon or anything that I can use there. Let's see if this starts up slow again. But I probably need to go in here and say, start tossing these off again. Oh, looks like some of them, oh, they're using the miscellaneous. So actually, this will work. So go in here, say drop. Oh, yikes. All right, so fish definitely breaks it. Good enough there. I'd make it have runners. Yeah, I've wanted to for a while to add them, but I think probably the biggest thing is that I feel like people would not respond well, just because kind of the idea is that um, I want people to be able to try the game and use survive. I don't want people moving back to casual, and I feel like that's already kind of a thing that more people move towards casual um, than they do on actual Survivor. And so I feel like that's usually the standard that people install, and so therefore they never get like a lot of the fun stuff that is in the Survivor version. And then very few people try Ultimate because they're like, oh, that's too hard. And then some people I've heard, go on to really like Ultimate in the playstyle. So I think probably the biggest thing about adding them to Survivor is what I'm thinking about doing is trying to make it to where at night they're runners and at daytime they're not, or they can at least climb at night. Um, and so that way they can at least climb up the buildings at nighttime. So if you're going out, they're not as stupid during the night. More along the lines of what they did with Dying Light 1. Hey, Black My Foo. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thanks for your support. It's been I think 8 years now, and I haven't really heard from Techland. So, and I applied there twice, so I don't think I'm going to hear from them at this point. But you never know. So pumpkin, corn, pumpkin, pumpkin, corn, fish, onion. So I think that's actually all the different ones that I need. So let's go test this out. Some of them are duplicates. So say corn, hit drop. Ah, that's not gonna work. Yeah, I mean I like it. I don't really think I'm gonna be able to hide that in the world very easily. If we say fish, this is that fish pack. Yeah, it's like actually like glitch. So whatever it is, it's something that's not finished. So fish is out. So far corn is out, fish is out. Let's go back up here. pumpkin, corn. Corn is out. Fish is out. I'm guessing these are also going to be very similar. Like a stalk of peppers. Yeah, I also don't think that's going to work well with hiding that in containers or anything like that. There we go. That's something that works. So pumpkin 2 works great. So let's go in here and say hanging peppers is out. Pumpkin 2. Pumpkin. Just smelling to enjoy the holidays. I think we did 80 on those other ones. Let's do like 90. It's going to be food small or normal. If I ate a whole pumpkin, I think I'd be pretty full. It's going to be food normal. 10. Okay, there's 1. And then we got pumpkin 2 again. Let's do pumpkin 1. And corn. I think they're both the same. So let's try pumpkin 1. Good drop. Oh, that's like gourd. Okay. So say that makes it easier. So this is going to be a gourd. And this is going to probably be like 60. Also white. Say food small. Very festive and delicious. And for each one of these, as I go through, technically I have not set up, like I can't change the texture on this to my knowledge. If I try skin, I might be able to go in there and create skins for these. I still have to look how they're doing. I have to look at how they're doing their skin system. But technically, you might be able to do like rotten food, but I'm not sure. So I think, no, onion was the last one. Yep, that ain't gonna work. All right, so onions are out. So say food, gourd, food, pumpkin. And then actually while I'm here, say food normal, food gourd, check, check, check. Canned food. I have to change that if I can. And then onions out. All right. I think that's a pretty good list of food items there. I mean, definitely a good place to start. So let's add food gourd, food pumpkin, and that's it. So between the two there, it's quite a bit of food. The prescription drugs don't count, obviously, but the lighting works fine on these. Never really thought about that, but I guess it's worth looking at. And then what was the last thing I was going to test? I was going to say, oh, and I guess mushrooms. I never saw their icon, so let me go in here and say. And of course, I'm sure it just saved, and so now I have all these things permanently stuck in the world. Not permanently, I'm sure they'll disappear after a little while there. Okay. Here and say, I'm sure all of these are, yeah, the old ones, and then we'll go in here and see. That correct? Huh. Interesting. Okay. Is this my one? Yeah. Okay. So that's my be the volatile. I'm not sure how I ended up with it, but yeah. Take a look at what that mushroom looks like. So go in here and say the good stuff. Oh yeah, that's not gonna work. What the hell even is that? It's like a fox or some shit. Okay, yeah, that ain't gonna work. So then let's go in here and say crafting. Any of these more nature-like? There's candy, treats. So I'll have to look up treats. That will be a candy cane. So let's see. That's under here. So say treats. Treat. That be that. Say valuables here. Toilet paper, soaps, aspirin, dry food, cigarettes, jewelry, antidepressants, vodka, tool, canned food, shoes, perfume, inhaler, whiskey, and manual. Yeah, so the exciting thing that I want to come up with, and I thought of this today while I was working, was the idea that as you go through here and you do like manuals, but as you find manuals in the world, it actually teaches you how to make weapons. So you could actually go and make a manual for like every damn weapon if you wanted to. Not sure I would want to do that, but you could do it. So that must have been like their Halloween. So I can go over here to here, say treats, event holiday treats. Hmm. Treats. Candy, candy, treat. Halloween treats. So if they had this event with Halloween treats, go here, say Halloween treats, and that is token event one. Thank you. All right, candy. Yeah, could make that simple for me. And then we say, so we'll back to the game. So that's one thing. We have wiring, we have weights, money. All that is batteries, flowers, cans, coffee. Oh, Christmas sweets. Everybody infected. Hmm. Maybe I should do Christmas sweets then. No, I'll leave it for candy for now. Come back to it. So if we go over here to backpack, they didn't think to make a single edible food. Oh, there's antibiotics. So let's actually change those pills to those. So say antibiotics, antidepressants. Maybe that's what they actually have is maybe antibiotic or antidepressants was too morbid for them. Maybe they changed it the last second. Let's put that to the test. Say prescription. And we'll put those. That's a much better icon. And then soap, bees, perfume, pigments, whatever that is, flour, rice. Yeah, no food. So everything's gonna have to be canned food. That's a shame. I'll end up doing some custom icons eventually. It's just for now that find something. And if we go to collectibles, he has no collectibles yet. So, ooh, what was that? Oh, okay. So, guess while we're here, they got a jar of pickles that I don't have. And then they got a basket of apples. You've got coffee grounds, I think. Whatever that is. So if we go back over here to mesh and say pickles, pickle, jar, food jar A, food jar B. No, that's all they have. So maybe I got my olives incorrect. I swear those were olives, but those say pickles. And then is that sauerkraut? Whatever the hell that is. Kitchen knife, kitchen jar sack. Basket. Basket. Loot basket. Basket. Wicker basket. Open basket. Okay. And then there's the bread. So I think, is that the sponge I saw earlier? That is the sponge I saw earlier. So then we got screwdrivers. There's an apple. Beer bottle, pickles. Yeah, so that must have been it. Jar 2. They're all eating pickles. Good to know, yeah? Well, let's go take a look over to the bazaar really quick. And then here, so what is this other one? Lettuce? I didn't think about lettuce. Let's say lettuce. Right, and herbs. So let's go back down. Food. Lettuce. Guesses I should probably just go down this bazaar list because I'm guessing most of these things could just be found in the bazaar. Whatever these herbs are, let's take a look at those. Thank you. Herbs. That'd be great for making soups and stuff. So if we ever want to make soups, I'm assuming I can find a soup in here. I didn't try that, but we should try that. Bizarre bean. Whatever a bizarre bean is. Let's try that actually. 3. Maybe it's like a can of beans or something. Beans. What are these? Tomatoes? Should check for those. Bathroom towel. The tomatoes, oven, axe, apple, aquarium, anvil, airship. Okay, so I should probably just scroll down the props list. It might take a second. So we got herbs, lettuce, spice sack, Yeah, bird cage. Coming back to that. Bird cage. You get pets. I have a pets mod so that you can go and you can get your goat and you can get your birds and books, bread peel, bread shuffle. I'm gonna try these other ones. I was curious about these earlier. Whatever a bread shuffle is. And then we'll also try peel, whatever a bread peel is. See, this is bread 2, 3. Definitely would not mind finding more bread in here. I actually hate that it was only one cabinet, campfire, candles, canisters. Did all of these. Form, did all those. Oh, that's what about it. And then that was also another one is that these bandages, I might be able to actually use these for my actual bandages instead of whatever basic one they have. Saying I would say bandages. Oh man, bandages. Instead of using this other one, let's actually use these bandages. Just see do these two different ones and see what that does. Test that out here in a little bit. Okay, and then miscellaneous. Kites. Meat, we got metal, timber, fairly remote file, setting, have to move. Painting, paper sheets, parachutes, pencil, PK armor, plastic can, flyers. How is he not shooting me yet? Pumpkin, and rubber duck, scarecrow, scythe, sparrow. Okay, so say tomato. Nah, it's probably that entire bush. I don't know if I can get away with that. That probably won't fit in anything. That's a nature thing anyway. So what was it? It was wait, where did he go? Did you give up? It's like I don't want to mess with you. Okay. Tomatoes. What was the other ones? We found herbs, spices. I've added all those. Let's go check out the bazaar really quick. First potion's almost worn off here. All right. Candles, chickens. Ooh, he moves. Huh. Good to know. Beer steins, bottles, jars of pickles, playing cards, cabbage. Already got him. Pickles. Already got them. Bed, mattress, hanging. Yep. Eggs. Not a bad one. Say egg. Overhaul eggs. Egg. String. Don't know what those are, but and then whatever that is, it's like sauerkraut or some shit. We got the jars. And you need affordable prices.
Welcome, valued customer.
I have to call it a night here in a second. I was trying to run really quickly and just see. We got a bunch of different plants. So technically, I could go down the whole herb path. You could actually go find herbs out in nature. It's kind of fun. And then how about in here? There's the prescriptions. There's the water bottle, the water thermos that I added. There's the prescriptions. That's the bandages. So that's my guess. Is that's the hospital bandages. Hopefully they have one that's not hanging over the counter. They got a mortar and pestle. Okay. Pretty much it. What is that? Sippy bottle? Oh, that bandage right there, whatever that is. Hopefully that's the one I've got. And then that's alcohol. Hydrogen peroxide. Do they have hydrogen peroxide in the game? I think they do. I throw. Huh. Whatever they've got, they don't have that properly labeled, so I can't easily get to it. But okay, so we've got eggs. So we added eggs, bread, spices, beans, and herbs, and then a lettuce. So let's go ahead and crash it out. Let's go back to our prototypes really quick. We add these so that we can quick test. So kind of running out of time here. So miscellaneous 1, miscellaneous 2, miscellaneous 3, miscellaneous 4, and I think it's 5, right? 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, no. That. So we got eggs, bread 1, bread 2, spices, beans. Okay, so those are all set up. So we actually got 7 of these suckers. That's a pretty good round. Okay. 2, 5, 6, 7. And then we can confirm with these other ones. Let me make sure that these other ones are named correctly. So we got a pumpkin, delicious melon. That's going to be probably green. 90, food normal. Then we have gourd. It's going to be white. Food small. It's going to be 5. This is going to be 10. Gourd, very festive, delicious. Check. Fresh loaf of bread. Out of the oven, delicious. Normal, green, candy cane. Okay, and all of these are canned, sadly. And then let's test this out really quick. And that should cap off. I think after this, I'm definitely just calling it. That will be all the food. We'll push out, let everybody enjoy the new stuff in their inventories. But I haven't added it to the loot list yet. So these are mainly going to be in the kitchens and other areas. Let me also make sure we got good backups here. Well, let's wait for that. And then let's go add it to the loot really quick. So we're going to do here, and it's actually one of these files. Once I got enclosed. So inventory, that's the wrong inventory. And Legion, scripts, inventory, item sets, kitchen. So then over here, this, that didn't get updated, so the mushrooms need to get changed back. Mushroom, they need to be canned as well. See, this is what I don't like about it, is they all end up being, you know, it's a lot of food, which is great. It's just you end up with a lot of them. Probably all on the ground. Excellent. So bread too is a serving thing for bread. Pumpkin, gourd, spices is an actual spice sack, which I like actually. It's kind of funny. Beans and seeds. And then, so bread thing was not right. And then bread 3. Oh, that's bread 3, so it's a stick. And then, it's an entire forest worth of herbs. So I think all of these pretty much failed. Dang, man. Okay, gourd. So I think going through this really quick. First and foremost, we got lettuce. I don't see lettuce. Ooh, there's the eggs. I like that actually. So the eggs will keep. The lettuce probably in. Oh, that lettuce. Those are the beans. Whoa, that's kind of cool. I guess that was actually usable. Okay. Eggs or pumpkin. Okay. Let's go in here and see if we can find lettuce, bread, eggs. Nope. Oh, somewhere. So what's the best thing to do here? I guess I need to go ahead and just dump what I've got so I can make room here. So we say spices are a no-go. Or wait, spices were the good one, right? Yeah, so spices are good. So let's go down here and say spices. And we can say spices 01. Then we'll say, and we'll say cooking spices. We'll get back to that later. Great way to spice meals. That's going to be food small. I mean, I don't even think you should be able to consume these. That would probably be, it's going to be more of a cook or a crafting item. So hang on one second. Let's say crafting component. Nope. Spices. Here, say valuables, canned food. Change this. Spice sack. Price is going to be 90. I like it. It's going to be 9,000 of them. Herbs is perfect. And then color will be white. Or maybe we'll call this green. Be like a nicer item. Then get rid of the game version. And then get the names. There we go. Spices are down. The beans I don't think worked out. Let's see here.
Nice to get away from the family for a bit.
Beans end up being the ones up in the air, so no. All herbs ended up being what? Yeah, these. It's like literally like a prefab that they created to show off all the different plants they made. All right, say gourd, eggs, bread. We know that those aren't good. Pumpkin, bread too. Eggs I liked. Yeah, that's actually perfect. And let's just do it again and see if we can get lettuce. There it is. Let's see. Yeah, see, that's not going to work. Okay, so lettuce is a no. Beans are a no. Bread shuffle is a no. Bread peel. Why is that bread peel? And then eggs is a yes. So we have eggs in the game. That's pretty fun. Food, eggs. Freshly gathered. And this is going to be food normal. And we're going to actually change these to like blue. They're going to be more rare. Spices. This is actually going to go up. And what is this? Herbs. Those go away. And then lettuce. Those go away. Such a shame. I was hoping I could at least get some lettuce in here. And then last but not least, if I say, I think I said soup bowl. Is it? It's like soup. Check these, and I'll do a simple test really quick to see if this actually shows up. And then we'll watch food, soup. See if we could actually, if soup works, that would actually be a really good one to turn these into. So I think that's all the miscellaneous. The spices are going up as a crafting item. Food, gourd, bread. Yep. Spices. And soup. Okay. So then in prototypes, we're going to update these. So basically, starting from pumpkin, it's just eggs. Okay. And then soup. We'll see if soup works. I bet soup's actually like just a bowl. What about stew? Maybe that's it. Stew. All right. Spices. And let's just boot back up really quick. Try those last things. I think so. Really quick. Said eggs are good to go. Eggs is normal. It's blue. Eggs, freshly gathered. Pumpkin, check. Okay, we updated for mushrooms. I think that's it. Let's go ahead and clear this. Drag this over. You guys are either fascinated by the egg and food production, or guys have patience. All right, I'm going to test this out really quick. I'm going to add these to the level loot list, and then I'm releasing this. So need to go in here and say after bottled water. So no, because that can show up anywhere that it says canned food, I guess. I think I learned my lesson the hard way the last time I tried that, but we'll see how that goes. Okay, okay, so if we go in here and start just dumping this in, so we got food. This is always going to be like a 0, 1 kind of thing. Clear that. Let's see how our soup turned out. Those are all uniform, and basically we just need to do this again, even though my guess is nothing's actually going to fit. So let's see if one of these is soup. Wait, there it is. Sweet. Didn't actually end up with me, and it's like upside down. Let's try that again. A soup. One. Nah, it's just a bowl. Damn. All right, no soup for you. Soup is gone. And there we go. So let's go ahead and start copying these over really quick. So, and I'll kind of label them as I go here. Smoked sausage, which I think is funny. Aged beef. Coffee. Long coffee. 0.5. That on a stick. It's still my favorite. This is gonna be a 1. Everyone's gonna have rats. Everybody's gonna be eating rat on a stick. That is the consumed meal of the area. All right, military rations are gonna be rare. Slices. Oh wait, where's rations 2? Also rare. Apple slices will be common. Slices. Berries. Olive, which we found out later. I still think that's olives. Apparently, that's actually pickles. And then food sack is going to be rare. So rare. Rations good. Coffee can will be more common. This is so you can make your own coffee. Coffee strainer. And then we're not adding the craft plan. So down to the next one. Melons. Look at how long these lists are getting, y'all. This is good. Actually might be interesting here soon. 0. Didn't get to any of the electronics, didn't get to anything else. Hey, I'm still really looking forward to hearing your guys' feedback. If you guys think of things that you would like in the game, please share. None of these things, I can't promise that I can get any of these working as solutions, but I'm more than happy to continue to try to get it working and see if that's even possible. So as you think of things, happy to try to get it working inside the mod, especially now that the survival version is going to be coming out here soon. I'm super excited about that. Hopefully, we can get that going here very shortly, and we'll see how people respond to it. And eggs. Spices are a little bit more on the rare side. Okay, look at that, yo. That is quite the list. All after canned food. All right, so how we're doing this is we go over here, add this. Anywhere that canned food shows up, we'll go ahead and add it to the world. So say find in files. Nope. Say replace canned food. I think it's actually going to be like that. And we're going to go in here and say canned food. Place. Made two replacements. And then I think the last one is probably canned food 5. Which I think this one is going to be, let me actually see where all those are found. So it's going to be general and mechanical. So I really want to dump them into dark world just yet, or dark place. General, I'm good with. Yep, out in the world. And then street, let's go down the street, make sure they got into here. So they did. I keep feeling like they're in there multiple times, but it's really not. It's just that many. Hey, Flax, how's it going? Or Valax? I'm following your work. Thanks, Flax. I appreciate it. Hey, give it a shot. You know, whenever you're feeling up to it, I would highly recommend. If you're playing the game at this point, you should at least try casual. It's as close to the vanilla game as possible without adding. All it's adding are the new zombies and all the new features that have been created, but it shouldn't add any new difficulty. So if you're looking for, a little bit more content in the game itself, at this point, I can't say it's a little bit of content. I would say it's a lot of content because it really is. It's really starting to just become a very, very large amount of content. In the medical one, we're going to get rid of these. I don't actually want this at the hospital. Make sure, yeah. So I really don't think that these should be in the canned food. We'll keep, but and then like in the lockers, nothing fresh kind of thing. And that's another part where I need to go in here and change some of these is that it's definitely not going to have like the fresh food in the lockers or anything like that. Um, and it's like all these like fresh things. You might find like spices and stuff, and maybe uh, even like the meat. I think I'm gonna pull that out of the lockers. We'll leave it in interiors and stuff like that, but some of these will have to be refined. So please bear with me on this initial launch. You may end up with stuff kind of hidden in different areas, but let's just go ahead and get this posted so that people can give their feedback, and we'll learn more as we go. All right, so the stash is going to have to get cleared really quick. So stash, let's clear this out, and then none of this has been added to the traders. I think probably the only thing that people might want are the actual coffee things. So let me, well, I mean, people are probably going to want food in general, but I'm trying to think like what I can do like really quickly. So let's go to item sets. So I haven't added any of the food. Where did I add? Is the craft plans and I don't think they're in here. It's actually really interesting that the medical stuff didn't make it in there. Let me make sure this is sure this is in here right. So the tablets and stuff like that. Let me go in here and add some of these. It's going to take a second to get all that. Ugh. All right. Starting with coffee. Filters. Tablets. Morphine, but that's going to be like super high up. I think I'm going to leave morphine off. We'll put it in like less reputable locations. Bandages, sure. Bandages basic. And then also the military health kits. Okay. So then from here, anywhere that this appeared, so basically I need to go in here, say item sets here, and then find this, and then say anywhere where this occurs, say replace, finds that, go in here and add that, place all, find, okay, that looks right. And then lastly, I have to say assortment, and then say how did they have it? It was like healing. Yeah. Did it not get merged? Because these were bandages. It definitely added those. Let's see. Shop assortment. Healing aspirin. Healing assortment. So where is it? That's weird. Say set file to static commit. How did those get pulled off? And then under here, we'll go in and say shop items, reload, say healing. That's interesting. I'm not really sure how that got removed. So healing bandages, shop assortments. So now if we go in here and we hit reload. Okay, am I still? Feeling military. Stage. And healing 9. It's weird. 17 of military. Why do I feel like this is messed up? Get this guard. Okay. So healing. I'm thinking about something else then. Interesting. Okay. Well, actually, that should add those to the different lists. Let's go ahead and get this out the door here. Under here, we'll go ahead and remove prescription drugs, even though, so prescription drugs can be added to anywhere that there is a, let's see, aspirin, anywhere there's these. Go in here and say, case. Like that. Okay, and hit save. So that should technically be all the new loot added to the world. I think that should actually be everything. Copy or cut. Add this down here. Where we'll leave it for now. So update that. Food bundles. Check. Check. Now look at all those new items. All right. So really quick, let me make sure that this still works. So let's hit run. Make sure we didn't cause any typos or anything weird. This is always the part of the night where I hit publish and then I wake up tomorrow and everybody's like, hey, the mod's broken, nothing works, can't loot. So let's go make sure this is actually working. Most of the time, if you end up with something at this point, it's going to be in your log file. So whenever you crash, most of the time you can look at the average size of the log files to determine where you actually are starting to get errors. They start to become more apparent. Like this is where it failed to launch for whatever reason. And then let's actually just take a volatile potion.
I wonder what the hell is going on. I didn't think it would be so tough.
You grabbed it immediately. Yeah. There's loot, and at this point for the loot system, if there were bugs, that wouldn't have happened. Let's confirm by just continuing to loot a couple more people really quick, and we'll find out through the testing. Make sure everything is still working as expected. Actually, I got a great location that just to make sure that there's nothing. Look at these guys all trying to grab me. This is all thanks to the new update. I'll probably end up disabling that just because it drives me nuts. Search. Electrical parts. Contaminated water bottles. They showed up. Y'all, that was a contaminated water bottle I picked up off the counter. Kid. Was a kid. Yay! That's the wrong bottle. Hey, Voodoo, how's it going? Cleaning supplies. So that was definitely the wrong bottle, though. It's gonna be interesting. Alcohol, resin. Oh my god. The loot system's definitely working. Not only that, it's in it. Look at that! We got a gourd on a shelf. Y'all, how often do you see a gourd on a shelf? Never. Not until I Am Legion created gourds on the shelf for you. Especially for you guys. We now have gourds on the shelf. It's pretty great. Cleaning supplies. Cans. Wait, what is that can? Oh, so the beer is going to work. Okay. The beer is actually going to be like a beer can. Cool. Let's go check this here in the back. Yeah, so that actually is going to be, that was just something that was new. Voodoo, or Voodox, Voodov, I'm responding to your comment there. That's something they specifically added that, yes, I'm going to have to go in there. I knew people were going to request it. As soon as I started playing and saw that, I was like, oh dear God, people are going to be shouting, please remove this grab thing. Because I agree with you. I mean, I'm definitely there with you. Look at that! You got cabbage and a fresh melon right on the little grocery area. All right, in there with the old refrigerators. Now, all I need to do is be able to make those to where they're rotten. So if they're inside buildings, they're rotten or something like that. But see, that's why I like this engine, everybody, because I just made those new things and it immediately puts them on a shelf. That's great. All right, confirmed, working. All right, guys, I'm gonna switch over. I have to get this mod out like immediately. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this pushed. Thank you guys so much for coming on, hanging out, and contributing. I appreciate it. I look forward to hearing your guys' feedback. Thank you again, and stay tuned for a lot of fun stuff coming up. I really appreciate it. Thank you guys so much, and look forward to talking to you guys next time. All right, guys, take care.